Trout, and I'm here to tell you about my global collaboration project for my ED408 final. The name of the project is Changing Times 2000. I did create a website on Blogster, and here it is right here. Students can go in here, post a blog. They'll each create their own blog, and we'll connect and look at each other's work. So that's the website, and of course I would create an even bigger website if we were actually doing this project. And let's see, we'll get this set up. So the name is Changing Times 2000. It's something that the premises for this is something I've been interested in for a while. That's the website URL. The location for this project is going to be a global collaboration. The communications students are going to use are class wikis, Google Documents, and email, and the generation we are going to try to reach are 14 to 17-year-olds. The information that they are going to collect is through interviews with people, observations, emails to soldiers, and internet resources. The time frame is 6 weeks, and the learning legacy I would like for these students to leave is going to be archived on a website, and I would like for them to develop a personal connection to events and results. So the curriculum integration and alignment is going to be social studies with technology, and the guiding question is going to be, how have the events of 9/11 affected the region where you live? This is something that I've wondered about since it happened, is how did it affect the world around us? I know as an American, I know how it's affected life here, but I would love to get different perspectives on this, get different opinions, facts about what happened. So that's the guiding question. The project aim is to gain a greater understanding of the events that happened on 9/11 and how they affected other countries. Focus questions that I have for these students are going to be, how did the events of 9/11 affect the region where you live? How did the media portray the events? What were some iconic moments from the day? And after that day, how did things change for your region? So I would like to divide them up into teams that talk about media moments. Everybody will talk about how their region was affected, but iconic moments from the day. That can be either something that happened in America, or who knows, something may have happened in their country that day. Someone gave an iconic speech. President where they live, Prime Minister where they live may have given a speech that was memorable and iconic. So we would discuss what was iconic, what was memorable, how the media portrayed it. I cannot wait to see what these students come up with. So the standards alignment, I use Alabama Course of Study, and it's a 9th grade. I use 9th grade social studies, and so Course of Study 9.6 says, compare information presented through various media, including television, newspapers, magazines, journals, and the internet. And it includes discussing the reliability of news stories and their sources, describing the use, misuse, and meaning of different media materials, and interpreting statistical data related to political, social, and economic issues, and this is the biggest one, discussing the role of intentional and unintentional bias and flawed samplings. That's really important in this project because we want to see if different people's opinions, how that day was portrayed. I'm sure that day was not portrayed the same all across the world, even though people could see what happened in the United States. It's not even portrayed the same. Sorry about that. Course of Studies Standards 9.5 says, analyze how cultural elements facilitate global understanding or cause misunderstanding. That kind of goes with number 6, and students will be able to work out together if there's misunderstandings, have debates, understandings about what happened that day. And Course of Study Standard 9.1 is describe current news stories from various perspectives, including geographical, historical, political, social, and cultural. And what we can do is compare current news stories with related past events, analyze news stories and their implications for nations of the world. And this is the biggest one because it goes back to our guiding question: locating areas affected by events described in news stories. I think that day was an event that contributed to a lot of things that happened in different countries. So we're going to get to the bottom of it and see how it was affected. Alright, so the prerequisites for this class, well, for this global collaboration project, is to be working with Google Documents and the internet. The required outcome is that every student will contribute an interview, picture, website, and blog post to contribute to the iMovie. So the iMovie is the outcome that is going to be the big final project. Optional outcomes would be to create a Prezi presentation of information, and you can use that to produce your iMovie. They can use that to produce their iMovie, or they may do something totally different from their iMovie. The team structures will be in groups of 8, and they will be divided up into media. I'm not going to divide them up into nations. Well, everybody's going to contribute something different from their nation. I don't want all of the Americans on one team. I don't want all of England on one team. So it'll be random groups of 8. Oh, and also with the team structure, there will be different roles. There will be a leader, there will be a facilitator, there will be a timekeeper to kind of keep everybody on track throughout the project, and there will be a proofreader, even though they all need to be doing that, but still, there will be different roles within the group. Alright, the required inputs for the global collaboration project called Changing Times 2000 is that each student will input an interview, a picture, a website, and 3 blog posts. Students will also contribute to wikis and the final iMovie. So that's 1 interview, 1 picture, 1 website, and 3 blog posts. Blog posts will be posted at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the project. Optional inputs are additional interviews, pictures, websites, or blog posts. If they come across something really interesting and they want to blog about it, that would be awesome. Assessment. I have a rubric that will be used to assess the iMovie and the creation process, and to make sure it gets finished on time. And the evaluation will be that students can share their iMovie with their school and the community, and of course we will share it with everybody else on the Changing Times 2000 project. I think the students will really be proud to show this to their community and their school. And the great thing about this is if we have a classroom with 10 students working on this project, 10 students will not be in the same group. So there will be 10 different iMovies that they can show their school or their community. So I think this would be a great project. It'll get a lot of different perspectives. It'll really get students thinking. And if you have any questions, I would be glad to answer them. Thank you so much.